Welcome to this episode, everyone. On this adventure, we're going to head out on an overnight trip to one of our Pennsylvania state parks, Pine Grove Furnace. This state park is nestled inside of Michaux State Forest. We were planning to do some exploring. The plan for this trip was to leave after work and arrive at the state park with enough daylight left to look around the local area there that evening before waking up early the next morning and going out on a bike ride. The state park itself has its own system of trails here to utilize, as well as a bigger section of ATV trails that it borders, and also, as I mentioned, the state forest. So we had plenty that we wanted to do and see here, so I'm going to stop talking and get into the first adventure, which was on the trails right at the state park itself. Went out for a quick trail run before dark and got to see some of what Pine Grove Furnace has to offer. Check this out. After arriving and setting up the little camp, still had a little bit of daylight left, so decided to set out right from the campsite and do a quick trail run around the state park itself. So after a beautiful start to the run on Creek Trail, I made my way to the foundation of the park, the furnace. From the furnace, I made my way to the old railroad bed, where I took that to the Copenhagen Trail. This was a loop that took you alongside Mountain Creek and Tom's Run, and it was a beautiful section for sure. This beautiful scene was at the confluence of Tom's Run and Mountain Creek. After enjoying this section, I made my way back out to the railroad bed and retraced my steps, and then took the Brickyard Trail back to the campground. That was a great trail run there. Some of the sections of forest there along the creek and in those big pine forests were just perfect. So after enjoying that quick run, came back to the car, made myself a cup of decaf, and started to unwind and prepare for the night. In the morning, the plan was to wake up whenever the gravel god summoned me, and we were going to do a loop on the bike deeper into Michaux State Forest. This loop started off fun right away, diving into some single track and getting a little rough and rowdy before we climbed up to Ridge Road. If you watch my videos, you may recognize that name. I think 2 videos ago, Leah and I were in Michaux riding along Ridge Road. So I did repeat that stretch and also continued on Ridge farther down and got into some territory there that I have not been to yet. Some of this was beautiful. We had some vistas, a gorgeous reservoir. Oh, it was a great time for sure. So let's jump into that ride. Starting the day with the climb. Heading up paved road here. Shingle Town. Past some cabins. Eventually going to hit a gate. This one turns into a haul road. Then we're going to take across to another haul road. It's going to take us to Woodrow, which will be our final push up to Ridge Road. Gravel! So as stated there, this route had a nice warm-up built right into the route, as Old Shippensburg Road started off paved, then went to gravel, then eventually went down to single track as it went towards Sunset Rocks and changed over to the old Dynamite Hall Road. Into the single track here. Here we reached an intersection with the AT, where we went on to the Sunset Rocks Trail for a moment, before that eventually veers off to the left, and we stayed straight on the Dynamite Hall Road. So we joined Sunset Rocks Trail for a moment. Now we're buried to the right, we're on the Dynamite Hall Road, which is going to take us out to Michaux Road. I believe we're going to cross over onto the Woodrow Hall Road, connect over to Woodrow.
Yeah, Vista. Luscious green pine forest, baby.
This section was very beautiful as you cruise through sections of pines and beautiful, vibrant, green, luscious forest floor. And here's the old dynamite shack of the Dynamite Haul Road.
So come up to the road crossing here. Gonna do a little wiggle. Get back on another haul road. Go to the right and the left. This is where Leah and I parked for the Sunset Rocks hike. If you remember that video, this is where Leah and I parked for the Sunset Rocks hike, the last video there. So this one should connect us over to another dirt road. Which is gonna still be a climb to the top where we gain Ridge Road.
So as stated there, we crossed over Michaux Road and we are now on the Michaux-Woodrow Haul Road, which is going to take us over to Woodrow, as I said. There were a bunch of trails in this section and definitely different options you could have chose to make your way across.
Must be having some cicada action down here. Pretty wild. Oh, there are trails everywhere down here. Made it across Woodrow Road. Nice, there were quite a few different connector trails throughout there you could take. That was pretty cool. Whew. Going up.
So even though we were generally going uphill the whole time, there was still plenty of climbing left on Woodrow here to gain the top of the mountain.
Grinding. Capping out on Woodrow.
Yeah, you thought you were done climbing. Lies.
A little drop here to Ridge Road. We're gonna take Ridge all the way across, pretty much. It'll be nice rolly. A little bit of uphill at the start of it. Drop. The old fall sanding. We're done with the climb. Gotta love the fall sandings. Yep, big time fake out. Definitely we're done with the climbing on Woodrow. All right, now we gotta be done. No trees at all left above me.
Now it's finally the top.
Now we drop into Ridge Road. What's this? Oh, it's Appalachian Trail. Yep. Now we're on Ridge Road. So this one definitely still climbs, but more rolly in nature. We'll take this all the way across. Side option here, 3-mile trails, right to the right in the woods. Take that as well.
Ridge Road dumps you out to Shippensburg Road here, but it is not done with you yet. A quick right and then a left and you're back on Ridge Road for another long stretch of downhill beauty. Well, majorly downhill beauty.
Back to the luscious beans. So Leah and I were on this road last time too. Definitely a lot greener this time. Still neat with the dead trees mixed in. Neat scenery.
As Ridge Road continues, taking you through more beautiful forest, there are plenty of other options here for different routes you could do. Not only are there trails branching off from this, but there's also a few other dirt roads where you could duck down and come back up to Ridge Road to make different loops if you had more time or wanted to change up from the route that I am doing here. For this route though, I stuck on Ridge Road all the way till we met Stillhouse Hollow. Stillhouse Hollow had a purple lizard on it, so I wanted to definitely check out this one. So that was the next turn I was looking for.
Got Means Hollow Road over there. Ridge Road over here, so we're gonna wrap right around this horseshoe. Head down to Ridge Road, pass off Middle Hollow, or Middle Ridge, and we're gonna make a left on the Stillhouse Hollow. Check out what the lizard is there. Little climb again. I had some downhill stretches throughout there. Some really neat sections of pines come through this. Nice cruising along the top of the ridge, as the name would imply.
And it wasn't long after we turned on the Stillhouse that we found the Vista that the purple lizard was marking.
Little ways down Stillhouse, lizard was found. A nice little vista. So on Stillhouse Hollow now, this is going to take us down to the One Lake Reservoir. I'm going to make a left onto Birch, something or other. It's basically a parallel ridge, but lower down, and take me back out, back towards the campground and the main road area there.
After that vista, Stillhouse was a phenomenal descent.
Man, what a scene on this road. This is actually Milesburn. This is going to take us down to Birch Run Road that we were looking for, right by Long Pine Run Reservoir.
Eventually we found this left onto Birch Run Road where we got a look at Long Pine Run Reservoir.
Here's Birch Run. Reservoir is right to our right. Oh, gotta take a look at this.
And man, what a scene this was.
Our Birch Run Road now. Just past Long Pine Run Reservoir. What a beautiful sight that was. Another surprise. You know, Leah and I were looking at paddleboard in there on our last trip, but the weather was pretty chilly and not enough time, but definitely get back there to do so. continuing on Birch Run here. This kind of parallels Ridge Run up top, just a little lower down the side. Assume it's going to be rolly as well. Presumably pretty. Wow, Michaux target range. Bring your pistol with you.
I took Birch Run Road all the way back out to Shippensburg Road, where my plan was to cross over to that on Big Flat Trail, which was an ATV route.
We'll go dropping some ATV trail. See what this is like.
And as I was bombing down this trail, I started to notice that a lot of it was kind of chunky. And I was just about to start backing it off a bit when the inevitable happened and I heard the psh of a puncture. But it wasn't quite game over. Being under a half-mile into this 2-mile trail, I decided to fix my flat tire, and since I only had one tube left, and being by myself, I decided to play it safe, and I backtracked out to Shippensburg Road, and I took that down where I made a left onto 233, which was a paved road. It was nice, it was quiet, it was still peaceful, and I took that the rest of the way back to Pine Grove Furnace, where I started the ride.
Back home with a little slight detour.
So I made the right-hand turn into the park, and then I headed up Bindersville Road towards the campground where my car was, and I was going to make lunch, maybe get a shower, and then think about if I had enough time left to do another run up to the pole steeple.
Definitely a lovely campsite here. Pine Grove Furnace. Clean. Bathrooms are all clean. Showers. Some of there's mostly electric sites, but there's 6 sites I think right where I was at that are just no electric, just primitive camping. But they still have a picnic table, fire ring, tent spot. Nice. Access to trails right from camp. So I'm going to clean up, make a cup of coffee, maybe have some lunch or go down to the general store there for lunch. They have a hiker burger that's famous. I have to check that out. And then debate whether I'm going to do one more run / hike up to Pole Steeple or not. We'll see how I feel after lunch.
So after the ride, got back to the camp there and still had enough time to make myself a cup of coffee, have a snack, go hit up a shower, and then decide what I was going to do before I made my way back home. After packing everything up in the car, I decided to check out the Pole Steeple Vista. This trail can also be accessed right from the state park here, but since I had to move my car out of my site anyway due to checkout time, I decided to take advantage of that and drive down to the other end of the state park to make this a little bit of a shorter loop with the time constraint that I had. So for the run, after a beautiful run along Mountain Creek again, I got on the Pole Steeple Trail itself, which was a bit steep and rugged, but nothing we couldn't handle. That took us right up to the Vista, where we got to take in the overlook itself, and then headed on the AT to take us back down to the car. Let's jump into a quick video from this run. So from the lot at the end of the old railroad bed road, I headed down Mountain Creek Trail towards Laurel Lake. Here I came out to the lot of the pole steeple trail itself.
Hold up. Guess you gotta go steep. Might as well get it over.
And before you know it, I was making my way out to the pole steeple Vista itself, being very cautious on this one because I saw plenty of videos and pictures of other people hiking and running here, showing off the beautiful poisonous snakes of Pennsylvania. So I was extra cautious making my way out. Definitely a beautiful vista, and there is a second rock outcrop that you could climb out to with a little bit of a better view. So if you go to this yourself, make sure to check that one out too. For myself though, I started making my way back down and then took the other turn at the intersection and headed towards the AT. And as I turned onto the AT, the mountain laurels were in full bloom.
Mountain laurel for days. Finishing out on the AT now. Back to where I was parked. Nice view.
So that was a great run to end the overnight trip using the Mountain Creek Trail, the pole steeple trail itself, and the AT to make a beautiful 4-mile loop before I got in the car and headed home. So you know it, I always say it, our PA State Forest, so much to see, so much to do in the areas that it seems overwhelming. We did 3 different activities on this trip and didn't even scratch the surface on what there was to offer. We didn't even see everything that the state park itself had to offer before we had to head out. What I'm going to do quick now is pull up the map and just show you the route that we did. I'll also post the Strava links down below if you're curious and wanted to see where we went or wanted to use them yourself. Check out the Strava heat map as well. As soon as you load that up, you'll see this area is used pretty heavily as it's lit up pretty bright from all the previous activities from other riders, hikers, runners, etc. Between the Strava heat maps and the good old purple lizard map, I'm sure you'll be able to make yourself a good route for whatever activity you choose to do while you're there, and you'll definitely enjoy this section of Pennsylvania State Forest. If you have a question about the route or ride here yourself and want to give some suggestions on other places for us or others to see and do here, definitely leave a comment down below. That's going to be it for this one though. So till next time, coffee, cycling, take both. We'll see you out there.